Well, now on to music of a different kind. This weekend is the 5th annual London Ska Festival. 60 artists will be performing at a variety of venues across the city. And one of them is Rhoda Dakar, who is known for her female two-tone band, the Bodysnatchers. And I'm delighted to say she joins me live in the studio. Before we speak to Rhoda, let's have a quick listen to her music. As I mentioned, Rhoda is with me in the studio. Rhoda, just explain briefly what ska is, because I don't actually know what it is. To me, that sounds like reggae. Well, essentially, it's all music. It's all Jamaican music that's, well, originally Jamaican music, that accentuates the offbeat. So instead of, I think what you'd say is, normally we dance 1, 2, 1, 2, or when you walk 1, 2. Reggae is the opposite. It's like 1, 2, 3. Right, 4. So it's a slower tempo. Well, and this is faster. It's just the offbeat. It's not so. If you're walking on 1, 2, 1, 2, reggae goes 1. It accentuates the 1 and not the 2. Oh right, okay. So. Now you started very young in performing. How were you scouted? How was I scouted? I was at a gig, I guess. I'd seen the advert for the band, but I'd answered so many ads by then, and they'd been so bonkers that I thought, no, I won't go for this because it's never going to be any good. And I just went to see a gig of some guys I knew, and a friend of mine, Shane McGowan, introduced me to the bass player. Good friend to have. Well, Shane. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, he's a nice guy, what can I tell you? But this is a long time ago, you know, it's before you knew him. Right. And he introduced me to the bass player from the band, Nikki Summers, and she asked me if I could sing, if I wanted to be in a band, to which I answered yes. If only that would happen now, because there are so many talented singers who don't necessarily have that ability to get foot in the door. Now, your background, mother English, father Jamaican. Yeah. Dad was quite a talented musician himself, and he knew some big names. Indeed he did, yes. Louis Armstrong. I mean, because he was in Paris during the 20s and 30s, so he knew everyone from the Hot Club of France, like Louis Armstrong, Josephine Baker. You look ridiculously young, by the way. Just like... My dad was very old when I was born. And it's clearly a genetic thing. That's very kind, thank you. Your latest single, you decided to raise money through crowdfunding. Why? Yeah. Well, it's an album, actually, and the reason I thought I'd raise money through crowdfunding is, A, because every artist who does self-release has a room full of things that they've done before that nobody's ever bought. So I just thought, if at least people pay for it, they're going to, well, you then have to give it to them so it doesn't stay in your front room, which is a bonus. But also it just means that you know that people actually want it. And I mean, we were fantastically successful. We got 220% of what we needed. Briefly, just tell me, you know, what sort of, why is the festival so special to you? It runs obviously over the weekend, finishes on Sunday. Yeah. Well, it's been going for a very long time, but it did have a hiatus, and it started again back in 2011. And I think when I went to see it in 2011, it was just up the road from me, and I cycled rather, you know... That's nice. But, you know, good, yeah, I was very pleased with myself for doing that. I cycled there, and there were artists that I'd dreamt of seeing for years and years and years, and I think by the end of the day, the end of the last day, I was watching Marcia Griffiths crying, going, I can't believe it, it's been so good, you know, and everyone's going, strong. Yeah, but they're so good, all these people, you know. So, Rhoda, you're performing at the Jazz Cafe on Sunday. What can people expect, briefly? Well, it's sort of a two-tone three-way, as it were. Everett from The Beat has his band, A Beat Goes Bang, also with Mickey Billingham, who was in... Kevin Rowland's work with Kevin Rowland, and me, and then Horace Panter from the specials has the Uptown Ska Collective. So it's like 3 old two-tone mates.
Wonderful. Well, I'm sure the audience will be in for a treat. Rhoda Dakar, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.